There's a lot to unpack here, but I want to go through what's actually valid and what's not valid. So the top section, when a debt collector comes after a debt owed, but you send a cease and desist letter, and now they owe you $1,000 for every letter. Now let's talk about what a cease and desist letter is. Essentially, it's saying you cannot call or write to you as a consumer. They can sue you, but cannot call or write. So what he's likely referencing is a tactic many people have used where they send the cease and desist, but they also send a request for validation, which would cause that collection agency to then reply back to you with that validation, that proof in writing as required. So this has been marketed as like the ultimate solution to becoming successful with the dispute process. Unfortunately, it's not necessarily that. The ideal behind it is debt collectors stuck because now they can't provide you with the validation, so they can't sue you, and then they cannot contact you because of the cease and desist. Now, many cases like this will not be successful if it's brought to court because a judge will just say you can't put them between a rock and a hard place. And in speaking with the attorneys we work with, there is precedence for this. So the debt collector can essentially bypass the cease and desist because you requested additional communication and or that validation, that proof. Now the second thing, and I'm being fast here because there's actually a lot to cover, but I want to be concise. It's illegal for a collection agency to buy your debt and come after you for it. That is not what 15 U.S.C. 1692, any of the sections of it state. That really covers false, deceptive, misleading representation. It does not say that a debt collector cannot collect against you. It really looks into their practices in that collection activity and making sure that they are, I guess the best way to put it is ethical, and doing right by the consumer as far as debt collection goes. So again, if you send contradicting things, they likely can just choose either just not responding or responding with that validation. And again, historically, it's a misuse of the law and not going to be upheld in court. And 15 U.S.C. 1692 really just covers false and deceptive practices. So be careful with what you're seeing here on TikTok. Sometimes it's not fully vetted, likely good intentions, but incorrect interpretation of the law.